Hi, it's Will from YF Volleyball Performance. We're here today to show you our prepare to play warm-up. This warm-up is intended to get your body ready to play volleyball and can be performed either before your dynamic warm-up or on the court after your dynamic warm-up. This prepare to play warm-up is going to help you prevent injury and be ready to play at your highest level.
This is our upright cat-cow. You will see Kayla is sitting back on her ankles and forcing this movement to occur at her thoracic spine. We want to get this area of our back moving before we play volleyball, as we will be performing flexion and extension when hitting a volleyball. This will also help us keep strain out of our low back and our shoulder. Here, Kayla is performing the upright thoracic rotation. Obviously, in the sport of volleyball, we perform a lot of rotation when we hit. We want to make sure our back has performed this motion before we begin hitting for the day. This will also take strain out of your low back and out of your shoulder when hitting the volleyball. Here we're performing our knee drops with a reach. This is intended to get your low back moving before we play volleyball. Often our injuries that we see in the low back are general low back tightness, SI issues, and this movement will allow us to get that low back ready to play volleyball. Here, Kayla is doing our glute medius hip dips. This exercise is for your glute medius, which is the control center of your knees. Over time, strengthening this muscle should help an athlete land in safer positions, avoid knee injuries, both chronic and acute. She's focusing on keeping her top leg pulled apart and toe pointed to the ground. Here, Kayla is doing our toe elevated hip thrust. This is to get our glutes doing their job before we get on the volleyball court. They're gonna provide us with a cushioning system through our hips when we're landing, and we wanna make sure our glutes are doing their job. Over time, this will also help us strengthen our glutes, which are very important for injury prevention. Here, Kayla is performing an alternating dead bug. This is to get our core doing its job before playing volleyball. Our core obviously needs to support our back when we are hitting the ball. A lot of back injuries in volleyball can be prevented by making sure our core is doing its job. Here, Kayla is performing our single leg Romanian deadlift. This is a hamstring focused exercise. Hamstrings are super important for the prevention of major knee injuries, so we want to make sure they're doing their job before we start playing for the day. Added bonus is the balance component, which is also major for injury prevention. Here's our single leg drop squat. Before we start taking impact for the day, we want to warm those knees and lower leg up with some gentle impact so it's prepared to do its job. This is also an opportunity to work on our landing mechanics. You'll see Kayla is dropping back into her hip and not excessively loading the knee. Here we have LYTWs. This is going to get our shoulder prepared to play and over time strengthen that rotator cuff and help us prevent shoulder injuries. We're going to do 5 Ls, 5 Ys, which Kayla is doing now. She is now performing Ts, and then we will be doing Ws, which is a row, an external rotation, an internal rotation, and down.